Well, here I'm bolting this head, and guess what? The head has 12 point heads on it, and I did not have a 1/2 inch drive, not even a 3/8 drive. A 14 millimeter 12 point socket to fit on that. Most of what I have is all 6 point, meaning there's 6 sides, not 12 sides. So I got online and I ordered me the same brand as this set right in here of a 12 point socket set, and it comes with an additional ratchet and some extensions too. And I got that on its way, but meanwhile I still want to get this head off here. So for the time being, I improvised. I had one of those swivel wrenches that's an open-end wrench on one end and like a socket on the other end. They wasn't strong enough to break these out or get down in there. I cut the wrench part off of it, and I had a 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapter here that I absolutely have never ever used in years and years, because I have a 3/4 inch ratchet. What would I need to adapt it down to 1/2 for? So I cut that socket part off the end of that wrench where it swiveled there and just crudely welded it together, but it's working. And I've got almost all these broke loose all through here everywhere right now. They're all broke loose, and I think I was stopping right there on that one just then, but all through here I've already went through and done it. And when I go back together with it though, I'm not going to use this. This is like a one shot. It might go on my backup tools, but I should have, by the time I go on back together, a complete 12 point socket set here. All right, so here we are. I did manage to get all the head bolts out as far as loosened off. I'm gonna start pulling them out here now. I did buy new bolts, so these will just become scrap or hobby material to make something out of here. Had a little trouble with this one right back here in the back. Didn't want to come out very smoothly, and when you get one like that, don't force it. Run it back in some, run it back out some, run it back in, back out. Keep working back and forth like that. Even if it's boring and tiring, it'll save you a lot in the end. And you can see that particular bolt looked pretty cruddy too. Look at that, different than all the rest. The rest are all a lot more shiny like this. So something was happening back there by that bolt. But work it back and forth, and you'll break those deposits off and off those threads. And when you run it back down, it'll get some of them out of the thread. Run it back up. This one's got a little bit of that rough look too, but it wasn't no trouble coming out. That one also, these are probably ones up, and this one looks good. So that's probably near a crack somewhere. That moisture was getting there. That one looks good. Oh, one to the floor. Another one to the floor. They're rolling off the table. Might need to run a socket on that one just a second. Oh, that one looks horrible. That one. I think there's definitely been some humidity getting to these. That one looks nice. And let's see, what did I have left? This one, I guess. And then these down through here. That one looks nice. That one looks fairly good. Check this one out back here. It looks pretty good. So is that all of those? Just this one here real quick. With the makeshift socket. It feels loose. Yeah, here we go. Oh, looks like a little rain starting to come in again. And just in time as I'm about to take this motor inside. Need to take off the timing belt, and I need to pull these bolts right here. So let's give that a go real quick. enjoying building this diesel. Now that one's smaller again. A little moisture from me power washing it, and went right in a valve there. Get that out real quick. Get you guys over here, we can have a close look together. There we go. Definitely gonna need a better light than this to look at these cylinders. See, here we go. So actually overall that looks pretty good. Get over here on this side. Yeah, it's actually cylinder there looks pretty nice. I need to rotate the motor, and this one looks like ass, man. Wow. Wow, get y'all down here. Does not look good there at all. It does not. It is definitely something happened there. But the main thing that I'm liking so far is the top of the pistons aren't beat up. If it was getting a lot of water into the cylinder, what would happen is that water doesn't, combust like the diesel does. And it's just like having little BBs in there on top of the piston underneath that compression and detonations, and it will actually start making little pits all in it, hitting in there, especially underneath the high compression motor. Probably a lot of blow-by going into the block on this cylinder out here. Yeah. Probably lots of blow-by right there. And this is also the oiliest looking one. So, yep. And now let's do a little lift up on the head gasket here. It's a metal gasket, multi-layer. And let me have a little look at that real quick. This being the bottom side. Again, at that back one's a lot of oil in that area, even on the bottom side of the gasket. I really don't see any signs of a blown gasket there or nothing. Really important to run proper coolant in these, not straight water. But now it shows more of a sign right there. It's definitely been blowing by right there. On the top size gasket right here. Definitely blowing by there. This one was still sealed but barely. This one was also blowing by right in that area in here. So on the top side, not the bottom side of the gasket here, it definitely had blow by going right here. And right here. And once again, we're talking about that back cylinder again. Whew. Cast iron head is heavy. Let's give us a rock over. That's what we really want to see. Well, she's heavy. Now here is the thing about this. Where they crack will be between the valves and in the pre-chamber. And this is the pre-chamber up in here. And again, this is that number 4 cylinder. And you see how it has that residue coming through right there on it that these others don't. That's telling me that that's happening back here. And the pre-chamber on this one. Yeah, down inside in here. See where the injector's going in? That's where it shoots the diesel, is right through there. And you can definitely see, without a doubt, that moisture has been shooting through on this one. Right there out of that pre-chamber, which is where it's really known to crack up in there too. And I noticed also the other day that there's moisture around this valve. Now, the part of this is where I just power washed it, but the rust is what I'm talking about. See that rust? I saw that too, up there on that front one, and up around by the tappets on top of the valves. Right back here also was rust coming up. So it's going to be cracked up at these pre-chambers here. And it looks like number 4 was most likely the worst one. A little bit at that pre-chamber and a lot at this pre-chamber right here. A lot. And definitely a blown head gasket. Some galding going on there at that cylinder. I'm just going to go ahead and put a complete overhaul kit in it. So I'll roll it over. I'll check out the mains and rod bearings and put new pistons and rings and all of it in there, and we'll go from there. So you remember how I said that if there had been water getting in this cylinder, it would have pitting? So I'll rock this one up where I can look at it better at number 4. And what do you see right there? See what I mean? This is the one right here. This is the bad one. And you see that pitting? That is straight up from water getting in there. Water droplets. Yep, so this is the cylinder right here that had the problem. Without a doubt. There it is. And I dropped down and looked at these two, and they look really good. Now there's a little bit of like surface rust that's just here because it's open, fresh open to air right now here at the beach, and you know it's just bare metal. So I need to get this inside now pretty quick. In fact, it's kind of swelling up the rain right now, so I'm about to move it inside. But you see what I was suspecting right there, and there it is, cylinder number 4. And this right here, that's not pitting, that's just some oil there, heavy grease deposits. This is where I've been wiping with a rag. But this one, that is pitting right there. And probably all that additional compression with that moisture in there and nowhere for that to go is probably what blew the gasket in between. So let's give it a little close look here again. This is pretty much how the piston should look right here. Now, of course, you see the wire brush marks, but you see no pitting, anything like that, just identification numbers and all. Looks pretty good. Let's rotate this around here. This one, number 2's got a little bit of pitting, just a little bit. Overall, it's not that great. And number 3 piston is a little bit better than number 2, not as quite as good as number 1. Of course, just got brush marks from the wire brush there, just the end, the brass brush. But then you see number 4 is just horrible. And let's back that up some and look at the top of the cylinder right there. Let's get that a little light, see if we can turn her up. We get it here somehow. But you see, look at that pitting right there. We'll do it back from a distance here, maybe it'll zoom in. Yeah, there you go, look at that. That is horrible, horrible, horrible. So between the top ring and the deck of the cylinder right there, it has really been getting ate up, and that is from water getting in there from a cracked head. So where I'm going to go with this now is I'm going to roll it over, pull off the pan, and prepare to remove. I'm going to start with number 4 piston right here, and I'll probably go ahead and get all the pistons out, but I'm going to go for the gusto and shoot for number 1 first. I may have to hit that with just a little sandpaper inside right there so that the rings will move past that pretty easy, because that is really rough. Maybe pit it back some enough that it'll go over it, but there is a little ledge in there. So as you see, it's getting late in the evening. I'm going to wrap this project up for the day, and we'll make this the end of one of the episodes in the series on rebuilding this. And I know it may not be for everybody, but it's part of my life living here in the Philippines, and you can see a little bit of what I go through logistics wise and all to get parts and stuff to do a rebuild like this here myself. And just get a perspective of somebody else's life here in the Philippines besides coffee shops and bars and restaurants. And if that's what you like, good on you. But there might be other people that, you know, might still be dreaming of doing hobbies or rebuilding something and all. I just want to show it's still possible you can do those things here. You know, I've seen more and more people coming here at younger ages. We're meeting more people at younger ages. And they're actually not just retiring here, they're establishing lives here. And this will give them a little perspective too, you know, that, you know, you can buy something, work on something, have something here. There's so much more availability than there was when I came here 21 years ago, even 10 years ago. There's so much more available and easier to do these projects. Just getting tools alone used to be a massive headache, and now the Philippines is so plugged into so much. I'm actually having an easier time to get stuff like for a project like this, for a diesel like that here, than I would back in the States, because they're not so common, or it's considered such a specialty work. So there you have it. Appreciate y'all watching this. Comment whatever you think about it. Share your information. I'd like to hear from all of you, and from some new viewers to the channel, including the machine shop that surfaced my flywheel and all. I'd like to say hello to you. Some people watching about my diesel stuff and all down in Australia and all. I've been conversing back and forth with. I really appreciate you guys too. All of you. Thank you so much. And let me know what you think about the video, the project, and everything. I really like to hear from you in the comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you would, if you want to watch more of this content from us, be sure and hit that subscribe and that notification bell. And so that way you'll know when I put new videos out and they'll pop up. And I appreciate again for you watching, and thank you very much.